Hi, I'm TrolleyMog, a variety PNG tuber on Twitch. I primarily play indie games, so it's really important to me to direct people to Steam to wishlist games and support these small studios. After spending a lot of time manually writing out messages to do that, I decided to create a Streamer.bot action to automatically create the message for me. I thought other people might find this handy as well, so here's a tutorial on how to set this up for yourself. At the end, I'll also include a couple of ideas on how to expand this further that might be useful. First of all, I am not a dev, I am not a coder. This might not be the most elegant way to do this, or I may have misunderstood exactly how certain parts of this process work, but it works for me and I'm fairly certain it'll work for you too. If you have refinement suggestions, feel free to pop them in the comments for other people to benefit. Also, if you'd like a more direct tutorial without a detailed explanation, check out my short instead, which is linked in the card here. You're going to start out by creating a new action in Streamer.bot. Name it something relevant like !Steam or game link or whatever. I've named mine !Steam, but for the purposes of this demo, I'm going to call it test. Add a trigger to this action and use the core command triggered. Create a new trigger and again name it something relevant and enter the command terms as whatever you want people to enter in chat to trigger this action. Again, I'm using !Steam in my channel, but !test will work for now. Okay, now onto the main part of this. Add a new subaction and select Twitch user get user info for target. In the user login field, you'll enter the variable to get the info for the broadcaster, you, which is %broadcast user with uppercase U, %. This brings into Streamer.bot information about you and your stream, and we're going to use that to automatically retrieve the name of the game that you have selected on Twitch. We'll now set up a second subaction, so select core C# execute C# code. It'll pop open a window with some stuff already in there, but you're only looking to replace the green commented section. If you're not familiar with coding at all, commented text doesn't have any effect, it's just a way of adding notes. Copy and paste the bit of code I have in the video description. I've included comments to explain what each bit does, but I'm also going to go over that now. The first line is taking the game name that we imported in the previous step and making that into a variable called game. In the second line, we're taking that game variable and then running it through a URL encoder and saving the results in another variable called cleanedGame. The reason we're doing this is that a lot of game titles have spaces or special characters that aren't valid for using in a URL. In the third line, we're building another variable called steamUrl. That takes the link to the search page and then in the search term part of it, uses the cleanedGame variable from the line above. For the fourth line, I've made another variable called message and wrote what I want to appear in my chat. I've used the game variable, so it'll automatically list what game I have selected on Twitch, and then the steamUrl variable, so it'll post that Steam search page link that we built. The final line is a command to send that message to chat. Click the compile button at the bottom, and if you've done it right, you should see a compiled successfully message. Hit save and compile, and your command is ready to use. If you want to take it a step further, there are two more ideas you might be interested in. The reason why I set the content of the message as a variable is because you may have multiple phrasings that you want to use and then have it randomly select one when the command is triggered. I haven't got that set up yet, but I put the message content into a variable to try to make it easier down the road. The second idea is a way to automate the posting of this link. I do a lot of streams where I've received the game key for free and I want to post the link every 20 minutes. First, I created the timer by going to Services, Timers, and then created a sponsored timer. I set it to repeat with an interval of 1,200 seconds or 20 minutes, and if you want it to only appear when people are chatting, you can put a value in the lines field. I chose 2 lines, but you can set this to whatever you'd like. I wanted the timer to turn on automatically if my stream is sponsored, but the stream title isn't a value that you can use as a trigger in Streamer.bot. Instead, I also happen to use stream elements, and their bot reposts my stream title automatically when I go live. I set up a command that looks only for the term #sponsored, posted only by the stream elements bot, and created an action triggered by that command to turn on the timer. Now to turn off the timer, I've created another action that's triggered by me ending my stream in OBS. For some reason, I wasn't able to apply the timer as a trigger on the actual !Steam action that I'd created, so I set up a workaround. I have another action that is triggered by the timer, and it just posts the message !Steam in chat for me. In order for that to work, make sure that your !Steam command has the option for ignore internal messages deselected. But that should be everything you need to set up this command and understand how it works. I'm hoping to continue learning some more C# and someday create a version that uses a Steam API call to link directly to the store page rather than the search page, and to include the game price information. If you found this useful, please drop a like and comment. It'd really make my day to know that someone's using this.